What do you think? 2 blocks and a little stretch? Hey everyone, Cristin Som here, and we are getting so far along with our Ginger's Kitchen bench pillow. We have sections 1, 2, and even 3 all done. How pretty is this? Oh my goodness, I'm loving this one. Absolutely loving it. So our sponsor for this is Binded by Stitches, and I've been seeing people saying that they wish that they had joined in, and there's still time. I believe our sponsor still has product. So I'm going to add a link here. This will take you directly to the supplies for this bench pillow from our sponsor, Binded by Stitches. Sorry, I almost said Ginger again. Binded by Stitches, and they've done such a great job. So jump in. There's still plenty of time, absolutely. And keep in mind that you working on catching up on blocks is going to take a lot less time than it takes me to do all the tutorials. So you'll have plenty of time. And really, it's your project, your timeline. But golly, it's so darn cute. So cute. I love it, love it, love it. I'm loving this one. So today I was thinking, oh, easy day. And then I thought, no, you know what? Let's push a little bit. So I'm thinking we do 2 just to save on hoop space, right? And stabilizer. We want to be able to utilize the stabilizer in our hoop. So I'm going to do 2 blocks in one hooping, but you can absolutely do them separately. And then I thought of just a cute little stretch exercise, just a very small one, but I thought it was really cute. The idea popped into my head just a few minutes ago, and I was like, oh, we got to make that happen. So that's optional as well. All right, so let's go over. We're going to do one by one of what we need for today. And then I'll also bring you over to the computer and show you what I'm thinking for the stretch exercise. All right, so the first one we're going to do is baking spirits. It's the first page, so it's on page 6 of the PDF. And when I say first page, it's the first one that shows the blocks. So right from the beginning. So baking spirits is the one we're going to work on today. If you made packets, grab your packet. Don't forget, you can always get these packets from my Amazon storefront. They're so helpful for keeping our projects all organized. So, and some of you are working on multiple projects while I'm working on this one. So, all right, so baking spirits, right, on page 6, and it's a very simple block, and this is the one I'm thinking a little stretch to it. So our main fabric is going to be 8.5 by 6.5, and it is the green with multiple Christmas dots on it, 8.5 by 6.5. And make sure, this is a pretty big piece of fabric, make sure you're backing it with fusible stabilizer to not get puckering. All right, 8.5 by 6.5. Now this is the old fabric. This is the original one from years back. It's been discontinued. So from our sponsor, if you ordered from our sponsor, you would have received the green Christmas doodle fabric, and either one of these will be great, of course. 8.5 by 6.5, backed with fusible stabilizer. That's for our main fabric. And then for the part that's inside that cute little frame, we are going to have a white fabric. So the original one is the white with Christmas dots on it. The one that came from our sponsor is the white, I believe it has snowflakes. Yep, snowflakes on it. All right, so that's the one that would have come from our sponsor. And we want this to be 6.5 by 5.5, 6.5 by 5.5. It's an applique piece. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. That's up to you. 6.5 by 5.5, whether it's the Christmas dots or the snowflake fabric. All right. Snowflake, right? Yeah, gotta make sure. All right, and then that's it. One simple applique piece, and then we're going to have our batting. So our batting today is going to be 7 by 5, 7 by 5 for your batting. That means that our final cut size will be 6.5 by 4.5. So batting 7 by 5, and then we want to quilt this. So I am going to quilt this with Hobby 1. That's one of the baking ones, because this is Baking Spirits Bride. Of course, we need one of the baking cute quilting designs. So I'm going to use Hobby 1 in a 6 by 4. It's really 4 by 6. So whatever quilting design that you want, that is a 4 by 6 for this block. All right. And then, like I said, I'm going to embellish this one just a little bit, just a tiny little bit, just because, right? So I found a cute design on Etsy. As soon as I saw this Baking Spirits Bright, I was like, oh, you know, it would be really cute as some little Christmas lights, some mini Christmas lights. So excuse my messy notes, but right here I was thinking, oh, look at, there's a little bit of space there, and Baking Spirit Sprite, so cute. I mean, this block is absolutely adorable as is, but anything could go there. Like, oh, a wooden spoon would be really cute. I thought Christmas lights, that was the first thing that came to my mind, and I thought it was really cute. And so I went hunting on Etsy and I found a mini Christmas light design. So I will show you that. I'll show you how to import it into the design, how to move it around a little bit, resize it a bit, get it exactly how you want it. So I will show you how to do that. So this is our first block for today. And like I said, I'm going to do 2 blocks. That's totally up to you. So I'll come back in just a minute and tell you how to do the second block. All right, and then our second block for today is going to be the stocking cookie. It is on page 8 of our PDF, and there are some supplies in this one, so let's go over this one as well. So stocking cookie. So this one is on page 8, and our main fabric, the original main fabric, is the black with words on it, Christmas words, baking words on it. So this one is directional. If you are using this fabric, make sure to lay it down in your hoop in a way that will work for it to be the words going the right way. All right, so this one we are going to start with that 6.5 by 6.5 backed with fusible stabilizer for our main fabric, 6.5 by 6.5. Now if you ordered from our sponsor, I believe you would have received the navy with Christmas doodles on it, and that will be great. That one is not directional, so you don't have to worry about that one as much. Again, 6.5 by 6.5, whether you're using the original fabric or the new updated fabric for this block. So 6.5 by 6.5 backed with fusible stabilizer. That's for the main background. Then for the stocking, so all of the stocking is on a cookie, which is the felt, and then all the rest of the parts are called icing. So just like if you're making cookies, which I used to do and used to love, got a little overwhelming. It was a lot of work. You're sitting there hunched over a cookie for hours and hours and hours upon the hours each day. So fun to see the end result, but a lot of work, tedious work. So we are going to make icing on a cookie on our embroidery machine instead today. So for the main part of the stocking of the icing, it is going to be this red. This is the original. So red with Christmas dots on it. And we're going to have this be 3 by 3.5. All right. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer, but I like to do that on my applique pieces, 3 by 3.5. This is the original, the red with Christmas dots. So if you ordered from our sponsor, you would have received the red with white dots on it. Either one of these, 3 by 3.5. All right. That's for the main part of the stocking. And then for the toe, I think, yep, the toe, the frosting of the toe, the original fabric is the green with Christmas dots. And remember that the substitute for this one is that green, I don't have it right here, I've got it on our previous block, the green Christmas doodles. All right, so either one of those will work fine. And this one we're going to have 2 by 2, very simple, easy piece, 2 by 2. It's an applique piece, 2 by 2. All right. And then for the cuff, now we've done, I think it was on Whisk, we did a stocking, and for the cuff, I'm going to use the original fabric, but you could do something cute. You could do a minky or a felt, something that's going to look like the cuff of a stocking. That's totally up to you. I'm going to use the original one. It is the white with Christmas dots on it, and the substitute for this would have been the white with the snowflakes on it. Or again, a minky, a felt, something, whatever you want for you, the toe, not the toe, sorry, the cuff of your frosting. So this one, we are going to have it be 3 by 2. So that means it's going this way, sorry, 3 by 2, all right, for the cuff of the stocking. And then for the stocking itself, it's going to be a cookie, so we need our piece of felt. So our felt is going to be 3.5 by 4.5, 3.5 by 4.5. Don't back felt with anything, leave it just as it is, 3.5 by 4.5. All right, and then we have our batting. So our batting today is going to be 5 by 5, 5 by 5 on your batting. That means our final cut size is 4.5 by 4.5, 5 by 5 for your batting. All right, and then I'm going to quilt this one with Christmas 8. I believe it was in the Cup of Cheer. I'm not absolutely sure of that, but that's what I'm going to use. I used it on Whisk as well, so if you joined me for that, then you should already have it in your embroidery library that you can pull up from your stash, I should say, your library of quilting designs. So Christmas 8 in a 4x4. So you can use any quilting design that you want for this stocking that is 4x4. If I recall, Christmas 8 is the stockings, and I'm sure that's why I chose it. Very cute. All right, so Christmas 8 in a 4x4. This is for the stocking cookie. This is our second block for today. And like I said, I'm going to bring you over the computer, show you how to merge them both together, and with that little embellishment that if you decide to add to your previous block, the Baking Spirit Sprite block. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I thought I was done filming and I almost got up and walked away and totally forgot to bring you to the computer and show you how to merge the two blocks together if you choose to do so, and that little added piece that I'm going to put on one of my blocks. So here I am at my computer now. I'm going to open up Embroidery Essentials. If you're in the market for embroidery software, please purchase from my Embroidery link. I'll always add it here. It's also underneath the video, but it gives a little kickback to the channel, and I'll show you how to use it. All right, so mine opens up, it's pink. I changed it in the preferences tab. You can do a lot of different things to your Embroidery Essentials. All right, so I'm going to move this over here so that my head isn't in your way, and you can see down here at the bottom it shows you what hoop size you're on. I'm on my 6x6 hoop. I'm going to need larger for this. I didn't already test this out, but I'm thinking maybe 8x12. Let's just go for it and see what we think. So I'm going to go to this preferences folder, click on that, and then I'm going to choose my 8x12 hoop. You know what, I bet even 7. Let's see, I don't know, we might even need bigger. Let's just try 8x12 for now. I'm going to say okay, and then I'm going to click this compass button and click H for hoop. All right, and here we go. So the first one is that Baking Spirit Sprite block, but we always want to bring our quilting in first, almost always, not actually always, but almost always. So I'm going to start by bringing in Hobby 1 in a 6x4. It's a 4x6 design. Excuse my phone. See, Renee likes it when my phone dings while I'm on video. So there you go. So I'm going to go to this Merge Stitch File button here, and I'm going to navigate to my quilting designs. And let's see, embroidery quilting right there, and I want Hobby 1. So Hobby 1, embroidery files block by block. Pez is what I use for my machine, and I want a 4x6 quilting design. So I'm going to scroll down, and there it is right there. See how cute? This is perfect for Baking Spirit Sprite. Oh my goodness, that is so cute. All right, so I'm going to start by clicking on the design, and I'm going to rotate it right. And now my phone is dinging, or my computer's dinging too, excuse me. It's the madhouse sometimes. All right, so I used this right arrow key. You can use either one of them and decide how you like it oriented, but I like that right way, so I'm going to do that. And once you rotate it, you have to click outside so that nothing is selected, and then click back on the design, making sure that you've got all 5 parts. And then I'm just going to bring it up to the top here, and I'm going to see how much room we have. May need to change, not sure. All right, and so while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and change these colors like we always do so that we can do a color sort later. So I'm going to click on 1-1, click on the color, and I'm going to choose dark aqua. And then 1-2, click on the color. I want blaze. Doesn't matter what color you choose, you just want to make sure to use the same ones for the 2 designs we're going to use. All right, then 1-3, click on the color. I want the second color down, for me is marine. 1-4, click on the color. I want the second color down, which for me is Oriole. And 1-5, click on the color, and I'm going to choose Sprout. All right, so that one is done. Click outside so nothing is selected. That's the first block. Now I want to bring in the quilting design of the stocking cookie block as well. So I'm going to go to Merge Stitch File, and this one is Christmas 8. That's the one I'm using. It's, I believe, in Cup of Cheer. Let's see. Cup of Cheer, Christmas 8. Yep, Christmas 8. Embroidery Files Pez, and this one is going to be directional if I recall. So I want a 4x4 design. Scrolling down to the 4x4s. right there. All right, so 4x4 horizontal and 4x4 vertical. So make sure to choose the one that works for you. I want the horizontal design. So I'm going to double click on that. It goes to the center, and I'm just going to click on it, and I'm going to drag it down using my arrow keys on my keyboard. All right, and that gives me plenty of space between. This actually works out really well. So again, I'm in my 7x12 hoop. The designs total 6.5 by 12. So actually I could use my 7x12 if I want to save a little bit of stabilizer. Either way, whatever works for you. I'm going to keep with my 8x12 for now. I think more people have 8x12 hoops than 7x12. So I'm going to keep that. Now, these are, I need to change these colors. I almost forgot. So on this second quilting design, I'm going to click on 2-1, click on the color. I want dark aqua. You can always see right here the colors that you already used. You want to use the same colors, the same, like 1-1 and 2-1 should be the same. So I'm going to say dark aqua and say okay. 2-2, click on the color, and I want blaze. 2-3, click on the color. I want marine. And 2-4, click on the color. I want Oriole. And then 2-5, click on the color. And this one I want different. One of these is on black fabric and one is on green fabric. So I'm not going to use Sprout. I'm going to use the second color down. For me is sea green. All right, click outside so nothing is selected. Now, we need to bring in the embroidery designs, and we need to group it. So I'm going to show you something a little different. I have done it before, so if you've been with me for a while, you'll remember how to do this. I'm going to bring them both in and get them lined up just right, and then I'm going to copy and paste to save those designs and bring them back, because I want to do a color sort, but if I do a color sort now and then bring in those designs, I can't align and distribute them within the block. So I'm going to jump around a little bit. You'll see. All right, so we have the quilting designs done. I'm going to bring in the first embroidery design, which is that Baking Spirit Sprite. So I'm clicking on Merge Stitch File, and I want embroidery design. So I'm going to close up these quilting designs and embroidery files. Pez is what I use for my machine, and I'm looking for that Baking Spirit Sprite. Let's see, right there. So Baking Spirit Sprite 5x7, double click on that, it goes to the center. Click on the design. I'm going to rotate it to the right and then click outside, because remember, once you rotate it, it doesn't let you move it. So click outside, click back on it, and then I'm just going to bring it up to, I'm not going to worry about getting it lined up just right at all. I'm just going to bring it up here, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to close these design files so that I can see them easily. I want the first design, the first quilting design. I'm going to hit the control button on my keyboard and click this third design. And I'm going to say Utility, Align and Distribute, Center, Center, Apply. And then watch the monitor here and you'll see the embroidery design move. All right, it moved down just a tiny bit. All right, close. All right, so that one's done, and then I'm going to bring in, so if you want, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you a little bit different. So I'm going to move on to the stockings, and then I'm going to come back to this one just so that you can learn how to move things around afterwards. So I'm going to go to Merge Stitch File and back to Pez Embroidery Files, and I want the stocking cookie design. It's a 4x4, so it should be up here in the front, right there. Stocking cookie, double click on that. It goes to the center. Now, you can just click on 2 and 4, but what it'll do is it'll move your quilting design too. And so if you bring it pretty close to the quilting design, it won't move the quilting design as much. So I'm going to click on the stocking cookie, and I'm just going to bring it down roughly centered in this quilting design. I'm going to click outside so nothing is selected. I'm going to close number 4. I'm going to click on number 2, hit the control button on your keyboard and click on number 4 so that I have both of those designs selected. And I'm going to go to Utility, Align and Distribute, Center, Center, Apply, and then watch this stocking cookie move a little bit. All right, it moved up and to the right just a tiny bit. Close. All right, so those we know are lined up perfectly within those two squares, the two quilting designs. So that, not squares because this one's a rectangle, but they're lined up just right. So we want to make sure that those stay lined up. And if we were to do a color sort now, we're going to have all of these oranges and cyan, all of these. Actually, there's no duplicates on there, but there will be on here. See the cyan and orange, and you could go through and change all of those colors, but I'm going to do them pretty much separately. My goal is to have the quilting run on both of them together. So I want to do a color sort on the quilting, but I don't want to do it. I don't need to do it on the other parts. I'm just going to work on one block and then work on the other block after the quilting. So I'm not going to worry about that. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to click on step 3, quilt design 3, and click the control button on my keyboard and click design 4. And I'm going to say control C to copy it. And I'm going to go to file, new page, and see it opens up a clear new page here. And I'm going to say control V like victory to paste it. And that's just to hold it there for a minute. All right, so I clicked outside, so nothing is selected. These are already lined up just right. I'm going to go back to the first tab, tab 1 here, and I'm going to click delete. And it's going to take those away for now, but that's okay. I don't need to worry about that because I just want to do an align and distribute and get these lined up and ready to go, and then I'll bring those back in. So for now, we have 10 color steps. I'm going to go utility, color sort, because I only want those two to color sort. And if I had done my color sort before I bring in those designs, then I wouldn't be able to line them up right. I can't use that align and distribute button. All right, so that's why I'm doing it now. So it says it's reduced it by 4. Don't forget you need these same settings that I have, tolerance at 0. Click new view, it'll open a third tab. And now you can see those quilting designs are together. So I'm going to quickly check those by opening it up. So there's the placement for the batting, tack down for the batting, placement for the main fabric, tack down for the main fabric, and then each of the quilting designs that are separated. All right, so that is perfect. Now I want to bring back those two designs. Okay, so I'm going to close up one. I'm going to click on Untitled 2, this second tab, and from here, the easiest way I find to do it is in this objects window from the bottom, click and drag up. All right, that's the easiest way I have found to get both of the designs. Now I'm going to say Control C to copy and go to Untitled 3, this third tab, and I'm going to say Control V and watch. It'll go right on it. It didn't do it. There it goes. I didn't hit it hard enough. All right, and so see, now we know that they're still lined up perfectly, so we don't have to worry about that. That's perfect. Those are done. It is so that the two designs, the quilting designs, are joined together so that I can work on those together, and then it'll work on the Baking Spirits Bright separately and then the stockings separately. So that is great. You can be done now. You could do a save as and be done, but I'm going to bring a little something extra in. Totally optional, completely up to you. So what I did, let me find it for a second. Hold on a sec. Okay, so on Etsy, I typed in mini embroidery design lights, all right? And then when you scroll down, look through the different designs, think about, we have a very small amount of space, so I wouldn't want one of these big ones. You'd have to adjust it quite a bit. I chose this one with the 3 lights that are a little bit bigger. I thought this was really cute. So I purchased this. It's Christmas Lights Mini Machine Embroidery, $2 from Simply Sweet Embroidery. And I will try to add a link under the video. The Etsy links are super long, so sometimes they don't fit in the description underneath this video, but I will try. But again, you can find it by typing mini embroidery design lights into the search bar, and then it came up from Simply Sweet Embroidery. And I almost chose this one, but I thought this was cute. So there's options, and again, it can be something completely different, or it can be nothing at all, totally up to you. But this is what I chose. So I'm going to close this and go back to my Embrilliance, and I went ahead and I downloaded the design. And when you download it, you need to make sure to unzip the file. All right, that's important. You have to unzip the file. And then from there, so I'm just moving this over so you can see a little bit better. So I have Thumbnailer on my computer, and so it makes it so that it shows the designs that are for my machine. So Pez, all these other ones, see, I can't see them. In fact, let me make it a little bit bigger so you can see. So that it comes with all of the different formats, of course, but the formats that I can use, the Pez ones, it shows up as a design. So that makes it really easy to find the design. So on here, this is the smallest one. I need the smallest one. I'm going to just drag that and bring it over to Embroidery. That's all I have to do to get it on there. And then from there, I want to move it around. So I should have done this before the quilting design just so you can see a little bit better, but you can probably see good enough, hopefully. So click on that design, and then you just want to line it up how you want it in that block. So you could put it here. There's a little bit of space. I kind of want it like here. I think that would be really cute. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to shrink it. So I'm going to bring it over here, and I am just dragging it and bringing it over there. And then see that blue dot right there? And see, when I hover over it, it turns into a little circle. So when I do that, look at, I can change the direction of it. I want it angled a little bit. I think that that's really cute. And then just move it over to where you want it. I'm going to zoom in by just scrolling on my mouse. The other way to do it is you click on this compass button, bring the crosshair to where you want to zoom in. And then from there, click on your mouse to the scroll button on your mouse so that I can see it better. All right, so this looks really good. That is really, really cute. Now notice that it's going over here, so I'm going to make mine a little bit smaller. To do that, any of these corner blocks will make it the whole design smaller. All right, cute, cute. Let's see. That looks really cute. I might make it just a tiny bit smaller. All right, so again, any of those corner blocks will make it a little bit smaller. It's a little harder to see with the quilting design in the background, and so you want to zoom in so that you can see how you want it. Now, this is great. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to click on this compass button and click H for hoop so that it shows me everything. Again, you could have it over here. I wanted it over on the right. But now here's the thing. You could leave this here. We have the two quilting designs, then we have the Baking Spirits Bright, we have the stocking, and then it'll go back and do the Christmas lights, or you can move it. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to right click on it, right click on the design, click on it first, right click, I guess, and then I'm going to say move earlier, and it'll go above that stocking. And that's where I want it. I want it at the end of finishing up that design, and then it'll start on the stocking. So how cute is that? Very small little embellishment on there, those little lights. I think that will be really cute. Hard to tell with the quilting in the way, of course. But so one other thing to keep in mind, so the stockings behind the stocking I think is super cute. I'm very happy I made that decision. This one is a cute quilting design, and yet you can't see much of it because all of this is applique. You will not, all you'll see are these little edges. So you could pick out like a plaid or a lines design, something that's going to go all the way to the edges. Totally up to you. I'm going to keep it as is. I know what's under there. I think it's cute. But I like that I added in these little lights. I think that that's really cute. So I'm going to go to File, Save Stitch File As. Always do as. Make sure to do as, otherwise it will save over the first thing you brought in, and you don't want to do that for sure. All right, so I'm going to say 8 by 12 because I like to remember what hoop size I need, and I'm going to say Baking Spirits Stocking. All right, because I have both of those blocks on there. Whatever you can name it, whatever you want that will help you to remember what you have there. And my machine is not on, so I'm not going to send it to my machine. You can do a save as directly to your USB stick, or you can save it to your hard drive like I did and then copy it to your USB stick. I have an entire tutorial just on information about that, how to make that all work, whatever works for you. But let's go ahead and get 2 more blocks done for our Ginger's Kitchen bench pillow. So I spent pretty much the whole day at the hospital today and doing my oncology stuff that I do every 6 months. And it was a long day and I'm ready for it to be done. But everything went really well and they took really good care of me. But I got to read some various things while I was having the stuff dripping into my arm. So this is one that I found today that I really like. It spoke to me. So it does say God in here a few times. And if you're not a believer of God, insert higher power, whatever works for you. All right. So let me just tell you about this one. So have you heard about the burnt toast theory? How cool is that, right? Burnt toast theory. You're like, what? So let me tell you about it. So I'm just going to read this one that I printed out. The burnt toast theory, when things don't go your way. Last February, and this is not me, keep in mind, this is someone else wrote this, but it says last February, I had a flight out of Sydney that was canceled several minutes after we were asked to get ready for boarding. The airline management announced that their engineer couldn't get the aircraft to operate. We were the only passengers left in the terminal. The airport had literally closed for the day already. You probably don't know this, but Sydney International Airport has a curfew for flights. No aircraft is allowed to fly in and out between 11 and 6 a.m. We were asked to go through immigration again and then proceeded to collect our luggage, after which we were given Uber vouchers so that we can all go home for the night. Everyone started to be grumpy. Well, as expected, right? But my first thought was, thank God they managed to identify the operational technical issue of the aircraft before asking us to board and eventually take off. How many times do you think that, right? There's always things where I'm thinking, well, it could have gone this way or it could have gone that way. So you have to think of that and be thankful for those possibilities, right? So this is where the burnt toast theory comes in. It suggests that when delays happen or when things don't go as planned, it could actually be a blessing in disguise. Those major or minor life's inconveniences might actually be protecting you from something. I always think that. I literally always think that. Like if there's a stalled car on the road, like what is it keeping me from? Maybe there's something that God is keeping me away from. I do think that way. So essentially, if you burn your toast in the morning, something challenging happens, whether it's a burnt toast or whatever. The time you spend making another slice may have saved you from a car accident or something bad. Or maybe it causes you to be late for a meeting, but as you stroll in, you cross paths with someone who will become incredibly meaningful in your life that you wouldn't have met otherwise. It's kind of like the universe always has your back. As what I always tell myself, if you get what you want, that is God's direction. If you do not get what you want, that is God's protection. I love that. You may not understand his ways, but you just have to trust his will. So the next time things don't go your way, always remember that you are being redirected to something better. The burnt toast theory. How cool is that, right?